I can't wait to play this game.
I'm joined by Dan Drehobel. You're one of the pro skaters in Skate 3, is that correct?
Yep.
And this is your first year in the game, right?
Yep.
So you've just been kind of working the skate tours, you've been in competitions.
Yep, all that stuff.
Have you seen yourself in the game?
Yeah, it's really realistic.
Did you have to like go put on the crazy black suit so they could mocap you?
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're just making up your tricks?
Sorta, yeah.
Anything in particular about the way you will pop an ollie or do a kick flip that would be a little telltale for people?
No.
All right, Dan.
Hey, what's up? It's Jeff. We're here taking a look at Skate 3, and now I'm joined by a very special guest, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, man. Yeah.
Nice. So you're providing, they described it as an interactive score for the game. What does that entail?
Basically, if you played a lot of these new games, the music changes as you're doing things. I had to do different sections, like an A section, a B section, C section, a D section, and a ×3 section for where the super duper you've been playing so good that it just pow.
How different is that from, the actual process of making a song? Is it take a lot more where you got to okay, this song has to be good enough to last for longer than 3.5 minutes, longer than 5 minutes. It's got to be 20 minutes, people are feeling it.
You need dynamics, basically. Quiet parts, louder parts, a gradual movement from one part to another. So, it's more like you got to know composition, basically. You can't just throw a loop together and expect them to want that. We went back and forth quite a few times before they was like, okay, that's what we need. Gave them a lot of music, you know what I'm saying? I worked on them probably 8 or 9 pieces. So finally we consolidated on something that's like, okay, we could work with this.
You done any skating on your own? In real life, can you get on a board and do anything? I just end up breaking my legs every time I stand on it. It's like spraying ankles. It's a horrible scene. I'm busting out my teeth. It's a mess.
Yeah, I'll probably be the same way, man. Nah, I leave that to the pros. I respect the skaters for what they do. They're raw out there now. They got some raw moves. Incredible. Wasn't like when I grew up. Like they do something space age now. But I support it. It's like underground culture, just like a lot of different things, So of course I respect that, man.
Now you have a long history with video games. Have you stayed current with what's going on now, or you consider yourself more into the classics, ColecoVision and whatnot?
I used to be a fiend. I used to play games for hours. Can't really do it now. I got a 360 at the house. My kid at the house broke it though, so.
Those things break on their own, man. Don't.
Oh yeah. No. I know that part.
Hey, what's going on? It's Ryan, and I'm joined by senior producer Jason DeYoung, Skate 3. Jason, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
I'm well. You guys are here in San Francisco showing off the game, showing off some of the more of the team stuff, which, as you mentioned in the presentation earlier, your team's been saying team an awful lot, but you guys are showing off some of the co-op stuff specifically today.
Yeah, it was really important for us to kind of deliver that message that teams sort of has an air of competition about it. Obviously, the word has competition associated with it, and that is obviously part of the game, but that's not all the game's about. So the concept of being on a team and playing through the game cooperatively with friends of yours and being a team together, that's kind of what we want to sell today.
The skate crew, that's integral to kind of just the whole skate culture, right?
Absolutely, and that's kind of what we discovered. Back in 2007 when the first skate came out, the goal was to create the most authentic skateboarding game possible. And we achieved that in that not only was it authentic in terms of look and feel, the behavior of our fans actually emulated what real skaters are doing, getting together, playing online, free skating, sessioning spots, creating amazing videos. So we wanted to make sure we kind of embrace that and called that out, because for us that's the cornerstone of why we're still here, is that the community that gets out there and plays the game for us. So for Skate 3 being about teams, it's all those things. It's competitive, obviously, but more importantly, it is about just this concept of being able to play through the career cooperatively as friends and succeed with that.
The unsung member of the skate team, which you guys have actually done a really good job of kind of shining the light on, is the photographer, the guy holding the camera. And earlier you were showing off some of the new photo editor stuff. Talk just a little bit about what made you want to kind of embellish on this feature some, and what you were aiming to do with this.
So for us, as you say, the photographer, the guy that gets out there and shoots the coverage for your team, is he's the king of the skate world. And once that photo comes out, you can edit the photos. You can actually move the camera around, zoom in, zoom out, change the depth of field, put filters on it, that kind of thing, and make that kind of just a beautiful piece of art. Which is, in and of itself, the creativity that brings out is really exciting, but even more so, it's really important to the career, because what happens in the game is as you go out and shoot these photos of your teammates, which is one of the different challenge types that we have, those photos actually start to appear in the city. So, you shoot a great photo and it shows up as a billboard of one of your teammates. You create another amazing shot and it becomes the advertisement for your team video that's on a bus stop somewhere. So the idea is that, as your team gets more and more prominence through the game, and as you are kind of going and creating more and more photos, they start to permeate the whole world. So the whole city of Port Carverton, by the end of the game, is just plastered with advertisements for your team, you and your team.
Does any of that stuff bleed out into the real world?
So what we've done this year is we're actually doing a lot more community building within the game. So from a new feature we have called Skate Feed, which is essentially our own social networking site where you can share content very quickly with your friends, to just permeating your world. So the idea is that if we know who your friends are, and you know who your friends are, we can actually pull their content and put it into your game. So you're going to start to see, a really cool photo your buddy took on the loading screen as you're going into the game. That kind of stuff. So the idea that we want to make sure that we're really making the community feel welcomed, and that we make the community bigger than it's been in the past.
How does kind of this integral cooperative element for Skate 3 impact the career mode, which you can now play cooperatively?
One of the things, obviously, is that some co-op games in the past, if you're having trouble with a challenge and you bring a buddy in to help you kind of finish it cooperatively, you get the reward, he doesn't get the reward. The idea with us is that everybody wins here. So the economy of our game is about board sales. You're going out, you're forming your own company, you're trying to sell as many boards as you can. So when you play a challenge cooperatively, you both get the rewards for doing it. In fact, you even get a bonus for doing it cooperatively. So we want to encourage people to play online, either competitively or cooperatively, as much as possible, because that really is what our game's about. It's about that social feeling.
You're basically out there running undisputed best skating game out there. How does that feel?
It's a really rewarding feeling to see where we've taken the franchise, and this to me feels like the pinnacle. The goal was not for us to create a sequel to another sequel to a great skateboarding game. It was to create now the best skateboarding game that's ever been made, which is lofty goals, but that's what we set out to do, and I think we're achieving it.
Excellent, Jason. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir.
My pleasure.
That was it.